stop cheering right now, because that giant boulder rolling toward our village. Yeah, that's my fault. And if it reaches us, everything we've built will be destroyed. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part, something is waking up inside the mountain. Something ancient, something angry, and I accidentally set it free. My name is Frogo, the smartest frog in the Stone Age. And today, I became a hero, then almost destroyed the entire valley. It all started this morning, after weeks of disasters, storms, monster attacks, and mysterious machines. The village was finally peaceful. For once, nobody was screaming, nobody was running, nobody was being chased by dinosaurs. Well, except Rocky. But Rocky was being chased by a butterfly, and somehow losing. The villagers smiled, children played, everyone felt safe again. Then something unexpected happened. A young frog pointed at me. Look, it's Frogo! Within seconds, everyone gathered around. They cheered, they clapped, they chanted my name. Frogo! 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 I couldn't believe it. They thought I was a hero. Rocky immediately jumped onto a rock. I'm a hero too! Nobody cheered. Rocky looked disappointed. Spike laughed. Fang smiled. For the first time in a long time, everything felt perfect. And that's when I made a terrible mistake. You see, being called a hero felt amazing. A little too amazing. I wanted to do something bigger, something legendary, something nobody would ever forget. So I made an announcement. I have a plan. Crowd gasped. Spike immediately looked nervous, which should have been a warning. When I'm done, I said proudly, our village will be the safest village in history. The crowd exploded with excitement. Rocky fainted from happiness, then woke up and fainted again. My idea was simple. Build a giant stone wall around the entire valley. A wall so strong that no dinosaur could ever break through. The villagers loved it. The children loved it. Rocky definitely loved it. Only two creatures looked worried. Spike and Fang. Spike stepped forward. Frogo, don't take stones from the Red Mountain. The crowd went silent. I blinked. Why? Spike hesitated. For the first time, he didn't have an answer. Just trust me. That should have been enough. But my hero brain wasn't listening. Heroes solve problems. Heroes build things. Heroes don't back down. So the next morning, we marched toward the Red Mountain, the largest mountain in the valley, the oldest mountain in the valley, the most dangerous mountain in the valley. Rocky carried tools. The villagers carried ropes. I carried confidence. Way too much confidence. Hours later, we reached the mountain. Huge red rocks covered the cliffs. Perfect building material. I climbed to the highest ledge, raised my hammer, and struck the first rock. Clang. Nothing happened. The villagers cheered. I hit it again. Clang. Still nothing. I smiled. Maybe Spike was wrong. Then I hit it a third time. Crack. The mountain answered. Everyone froze. I stared at the rock. The rock stared back. Okay, not really, but it felt like it. Then, crack. Another crack appeared. And another. And another. Suddenly, the entire mountain began shaking. Rumble. 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 Spike's eyes widened. Oh no. Fang grabbed his staff. Oh no. Rocky looked around. Oh no. The villagers screamed. Oh no. Then everything exploded. Boom! A massive section of the mountain collapsed. Huge boulders broke free. 1, 2, 10, 20, hundreds. An avalanche of giant rocks charged straight toward the valley. Run! Everyone ran. Dust filled the air. Trees snapped in half. The ground shook violently. The mountain was falling apart. Rocky grabbed 3 children at once. Fang guided villagers towards safety. Spike searched for another route. And I stood frozen. Because this disaster was my fault. Then I saw it. The biggest boulder of all. A giant stone bigger than any house. Rolling directly toward the village. Toward the homes. Toward the children. Toward everyone. If it reached them, it was over. I looked around desperately. Think, Frogo. Think. Then I remembered something. An ancient machine. One of Spike's forgotten devices. Still hidden near the valley entrance. I sprinted. Faster than I had ever run before. The giant boulder thundered behind me. Closer. 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 I reached the machine. Pulled the lever. Nothing happened. Come on. I pulled again. Nothing. The boulder was almost here. I pulled a third time. Click. Blue energy exploded from the machine. A massive beam shot into the sky, then directly into the giant boulder. Silence. The avalanche stopped. The dust settled. The village was safe. Nobody moved. Then suddenly, the crowd erupted. Frogo! 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 The villagers cheered louder than ever. Children hugged me. Rocky lifted me onto his shoulders. Even Fang smiled. They called me a hero. A real hero. But Spike wasn't smiling. Not even a little. He was staring at the mountain, terrified. Spike, I asked, what's wrong? He slowly pointed toward the broken cliff. My stomach dropped. A giant crack stretched across the mountain. Glowing red light leaked from inside. The earth trembled. The crack grew wider and wider and wider. Then a deep roar echoed from the darkness. Run! Ah! Every villager froze. Every dinosaur froze. Even Rocky froze. Far away, Mo lifted his head, and for the first time ever, the Savage King looked afraid. Spike swallowed hard, then whispered, "The rocks weren't protecting us." The ground shook again. "What do you mean?" I asked. Spike stared at the glowing crack, his voice barely audible. They were keeping something trapped inside. Suddenly, a gigantic glowing red eye opened inside the mountain. Larger than Momo, larger than any creature we'd